Hey there, fellow air brethren. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. Alright, let's see what the universe wants you to know. Alright, start off with these oracle cards. Give us a bit of a flavor for each column. Freedom, beautiful. Fire spirit, energy. So far so good. I mean, they're all good in their own way, but that's nice. And growth. Beautiful combo. Alright, let's check with the tarot cards themselves. Seven of Swords. Excuse the planes. The Hierophant. Five of Swords. Okay, so there's some... I've had to really fight for this freedom or work through something for it. There's been some education here that you've received. Could even be from your inner self. The Lovers. Choice. Four of Wands, which is the heart of the reading, which is about an element of stability that's come in. And the Eight of Cups, which is about finding a new path. Sun, oh the Moon, I thought that was the Sun, it's the Moon. The Empress. And two. Alright, so air signs. The first column is sort of showing to me that you have found a new level of freedom. Internal freedom, I think, that is probably being reflected in just, or refracted in your outside environment as well. And I'm pretty sure this card came up for you the last reading, but you've had to learn a new strategy. And you have become more educated in probably, I think, sitting with your feelings, and I think that inner knowing that's sprung up for you around, what to place significance on and what not to, and also to pull back. Five of Swords here is all about taking a risk in terms of withdrawing gracefully. That can be literally from a situation, pulling away from it, or it might even be an internal surrender or an internal kind of just like, I'm getting this image of just taking your hands off something, of needing to control something or figure something out. So this freedom, it's a real commendment to you, and you figuring out, what is important and what is significant and what isn't, and what does require a more, I think, being able to gracefully withdraw from something and to fight the war, and being okay losing the battle. There is a bit of a battle element with this freedom row as well. So whether that's an internal kind of conflict that's been going on, or I'm getting a sense you've been trying to get something out of someone maybe, and you've learnt to just go, actually, maybe you can fulfill that need for yourself, or maybe it's just worth approaching that in a different way. So the Hierophant here is showing there is more knowledge that you've gained on how to handle this situation you're in, and what that has resulted in is more freedom. So wonderful, good work. You're moving into fire energy, which is just having more actual tangible spark and energy for yourself. Coming off that, we've got the Lovers here, so I am getting a sense that you are craving deeper connection with others or someone in particular, or even yourself. So with this freedom, there can sometimes be I just want to connect, and with this new energy coming in as well, wanting to deepen things. We'll see what else comes up from that. The central card here is the Four of Wands, which is actually a really beautiful card. It's kind of like a reaching a new sort of plateau, and I don't say plateau in terms of something boring, but it is a solid, you know, 4 is quite a solid number, and within that there is the opportunity to rejoice and celebrate. So as you can see in this figure, there's some happy people, and there's kind of a bit of a festival energy to this card, I find. But it can be a quiet celebration, just landing on your feet somewhere new, or finding this freedom and just being like, oh, life's actually alright again. So the only way to let that really get in your system is to celebrate it. So to create a bit of intention around, hey, how can I enjoy this further? And cheers, you know, a bit of a fuck yeah, made it. Coming off from that, yeah, there is this other part of you that's still wanting to take a new road, and bring something in that you've been feeling the need to bring in for a while. The Eight of Cups is often a card similar to the Five, where you need to turn your back on something that doesn't interest you anymore, and just really own that it doesn't interest you anymore, and find that higher road. And sometimes that higher road doesn't come immediately, but at least acknowledging that there's something that you're just not really vibing with anymore, and processing the feelings around that, not seeing it as a failure, but actually just do it as a sign of growth. I think that's really important for you to hear that. Speaking of growth, I've got the Oracle card here in this last column, which is showing an evolution and a growth that's going on. And I thought this was the sun, but it's the moon. So the moon is about letting yourself move through the dark night of the soul, for one way to put it, or uncertainty. And doubt will try and come in and take over the show. You don't have to let doubt take over the show, but you can sit with mystery and trust that there is this higher space that you're entering, a higher frequency that you're entering. And yeah, it's a good beautiful thing to have in the last column, that shows there's, even though there's this stability here, yeah, you are still craving some more growth, and letting yourself move through this moon energy is to walk in the dark, trusting your own place in the world and your own guidance systems that you've got internally and externally. Coming off that, yeah, there's some beautiful feminine energy with the Empress, and yeah, I think this kind of alludes back to the Lovers, where you're wanting more connection, more sensuality, less problem solving, less strategy, less hustle, and more embodiment, pleasure and beauty. So yeah, that's a wonderful thing to be striving for, and yeah, I think that's all I need to say about that. The Two of discs coming off that shows that there will be a juggle that needs to happen for a while, and change is afoot, you know. That's a beautiful thing. The water here shows quite a volatile or transformative process that's going on. There's actually water in all three of these. You might not be able to see it on the camera here, but there's a waterfall here as well with the Empress and with the moon. Got the water down the bottom. So it's a kind of, the growth I'm getting here is literally just like when you watch the ocean and the waves kind of doing their thing, and how peaceful it is to behold that and watch that, and you don't need to interfere with it. But it's something therapeutic around nature's rhythms and cadence that is soothing. So you've got that inside of you as well. So I don't know, you're an air sign, but maybe using water at this time to ground yourself, whether it's even having a really nice bath, or just using the shower intentionally for that, or going to the beach if the beach is available, or a creek. Yeah, water really helps us feel like, you know, there's some other force at work that has a lot of change and movement, and we don't have to always be gripping onto that change or process. It's just got its own natural intelligence. So yeah, let's deepen this. So it's kind of a practice of surrender. Beautiful. So with the Lovers and the Seven of Swords, we've got the Two of Cups, which is a beautiful new connection that is being formed, whether you're single. That's something that might be coming in for you, but if you're already in a relationship, it just means it will deepen. But you have to kind of set your intention with that, and you have to move forward. Being a Gemini card, the Lovers, it's about communication. So that potential for new energy there within a coexisting relationship is available, but you need to communicate that. You need to let the other person know what your needs are and what you're wanting. And for those who are single, it might be about just kind of voicing it to yourself that you want more connection and going out and doing things where you brush up against other people. So yeah, it's a beautiful card. It's called Love here, so it does have that capacity for self-love and being in touch with your own higher self as well. So it doesn't always have to be an external person. Okay, come in next. So we've got another Two of Discs here with between the Hierophant and the Four of Wands, which is in the center. Just change that knowledge that you have gained. I'd really like for you to articulate what that is, to try and you know, anchor it inside of yourself, or else it can kind of just slip away. But it has landed you in this relatively better circumstance of stability. So yeah, really have a bit of maybe a journaling exercise or something where you really consolidate what you've been going through lately and how it's been helping create more wisdom. Five of Swords, 8. This old card, the Nine of Swords, I think that came up maybe in your last reading, but it's showing that with this surrender or taking your hands off, but also still craving something, still wanting something, there needs to be less of your old programming involved in that. So what will tend to happen with this kind of surrender is the mind will try and jump in and commandeer the situation. But remember the Moon card here, let yourself go through a fog. It's okay to feel foggy at the moment, as long as it doesn't turn into self-flagellation, doubt, a kind of fracturing inside, just that sense of lack or something's wrong. Really be aware of this energy coming in, and its function is to protect you, but you don't need that much protection. You're actually going to be okay, and you're moving into greater growth and sensuality and pleasure and abundance. So be aware of that energy. Don't let it keep you up at night. Do what you can to ground and keep your body in a state of homeostasis and balance while you move through. Celebration, I think, will help with that. So we've got the Two of Wands going from the Lovers to the Moon. So you're going to need to define your course. So the Moon is terribly confusing if you don't have a set intention. So I feel like with the Lovers moving to the Moon, developing that deeper energy with another person, whether it's your own higher self as well, is going to allow you to grab a bit of a candle while you're going through this fog and this growth time. Growth's inherently confusing because there's change. Look at a teenager, they are so confused because they're in this perpetual growth and transformation, but we still go through these intervals as adults. So this is, as you can see, it's quite a fiery card, so it's just about having some kind of spark of intention of what you're moving towards, so it doesn't feel just like an endless labyrinth. To get from where you are into that more beauty and sensuality of the Empress and abundance, it's going to be a slow path. And so the card here, the Prince of Discs, is about taking a meditative approach to it. So one foot or one hoof in front of the other, being grounded, and just allowing the journey to unfold and not needing to commandeer it. So already start to embody that sensuality and more feminine energy, and you will move closer in that direction. There is no other place to get to. It starts here and now. The future comes from the present. So I feel like for you, bringing in some of that celebratory energy will bring you into this cadence, this more slow, natural cadence, rather than needing to hustle so much. Beautiful. And to finish off, yeah, nice. So moving through into this, trying to get your needs met on a deeper level, turning your back on something that doesn't interest you anymore, and really kind of getting in touch with that cosmic destiny energy. So looking at it as an adventure, not fretting too much about what society will say, what family members will say, or what even your inner critic will say. So moving into that change is going to require a sense of, as you can see, this card's like a character moving forward on a chariot. So it's just bringing that sense of bravery and destiny and adventure back into the picture. And that's going to help see you through, I think, this moon energy as well. Beautiful. I really love this reading for you. It's got a lot of kind of tantalizing growth, but and a lot of stability in the middle here with where you're already at. So awesome. Keep up the good work, air signs. If you've got another dominant element in your chart, you're welcome to watch one of my other videos. They'll probably resonate for you. And if you don't know what elements are in your chart, I'll put a link to finding that out in the description below. Thanks so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. See you next time.